Hello lovely people, fragrance lovers, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Abbieo, and if it's your first time here, you're most definitely welcome. If you love scents and fragrances, smelling good, looking good and feeling good, you're definitely on the right channel. I hope you subscribe on your way out. And for those of you that have been with me, thank you so much for your support. I absolutely appreciate it. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some new fragrances that I've added to my collection. Every one of these fragrances was an absolute blind buy, so I'm pretty excited to let you guys know what I think about them, just in case you've been eyeing them or you're contemplating if you should get it or not. Now, if you've watched a few of my videos, I think you can tell by now the kind of scents that I like. I like sweet, floral, feminine, classy, elegant scents. Today I have 10 fragrances here, and in no particular order I'm going to get started. The first one is Marc Decadence. Unfortunately, I'm missing the cap here because I bought it as a tester. This fragrance is pretty strong on the iris note. It's one of those tricky notes. If it's not done right, or if it's too much, or if it's not blended properly, it can be a bit nauseating. Personally, this is not a usual kind of scent for me, but for some weird reason I like this. Okay, this is strong, this is floral, it's fruity. It opens up with plum, saffron and the iris, and in the middle it's got some jasmine, sambac, some Bulgarian rose and some orris. Now in the base of it, it's got vetiver, paperus and liquid amber. Well, I don't know what some of these notes are, but I'll tell you that this is one of those evening fragrances that you're absolutely going to love. You're going to draw a lot of attention with this fragrance. In the opening I do get the iris, a lot of the iris. It's pretty strong on the iris, but it's not the off-putting kind of iris. You are going to love this fragrance if you are into floral fragrances. Not so much a particular type of floral, but a combination of different florals. The atomizer is nice and even, and that opening is so pretty. I think it's definitely a full bottle worthy, and it's definitely a good blind buy. This scent I think is better suited for evening time, and maybe when the weather is a little bit cold or chilly. I think this has potential to choke someone out in the summer, so I probably may not be reaching for it as much now that we're getting into the warm weather. But I did spray this a few times, and I still am spraying it because we are experiencing a little bit of bipolar weather going on. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot, but it's mostly cold, so I still wear this. This is Marc Decadence, and this is a successful blind buy. The second one I've got here is by Penhaligon, and this is Elisabethan Rose. This is truly a beautiful rose scent. This opens up a little bit nutty and citrusy though, but in the heart of it, towards that dry down, it is so beautiful. When I first sprayed it, I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, this is not rose. Like, this is not rose at all. What is all the hype about? But after some time, when that opening begins to fade and you start getting into the heart of the fragrance, this is truly a beautiful rose scent. It's got May rose, rose oil, rose. I mean, that's a lot of roses in the heart. It's got red lily as well, and it's got plum. This is a lovely scent. It's fresh, but at the same time it's got depth to it. It's got complexity. I think this is a pleasant feminine scent. I would personally wear this in like the spring and summer. I have actually started wearing this because it gets hot during the day, but then it cools down in the evening. We're still transitioning into spring here in Australia, so I think this is a very good transition scent from fall to spring, in my opinion, that is. It's described as a floral woody musk fragrance, and to me it's one of those fragrances that smell better in the dry down. So the opening can be a bit off-putting, and that's why I don't know if I can say this is a successful blind buy. It just needs to grow on you. It's one of those fragrances that you need to give it time. You need to wear it a few times and you will love it, I promise. It's definitely a good purchase, but I don't know if I can say that it's a good blind buy. The next fragrance I've got here is another popular one by the house of Penhaligon. This is a part of their Portraits collection, and this is the coveted Duchess Rose. To me, I think this is a true rose scent. This fragrance actually reminds me a lot of Montal's Roses Musk, and I did have both. I just recently sold Roses Musk, and that's why I don't have it on this list. The only reason why I decided to keep this is because this dries down into a more citrusy rose. Montal Roses Musk dries down into like a more jasmine-y rose, like a more white floral kind of rose. If you are into fragrances, you know that jasmine can be a bit harsh to the nose. That is what I get from Montal's Roses Musk, and that is why I sold it. But nonetheless, it is a great perfume for women. It actually is one of the perfumes on my list of the most complimented fragrances. Every time I wore it, I got compliments. Okay, I just want to make it clear that I'm not in any way knocking it down. I'm just saying what this fragrance reminds me of. Now back to Duchess Rose. This is a beautiful rose scent. The notes in here are rose, musk, woody notes, and mandarin orange. For me, this is a beautiful scent, but it's not much of a compliment getter because the projection on here is not very great. It's not a beast mode kind of fragrance if that's what you're after. It's a feminine, soft floral, predominantly rose kind of scent. Is this a good blind buy? Absolutely it is. I think everyone would love this fragrance. Once again, this is the coveted Duchess Rose by Penhaligon. The next fragrance I've got here is Vanilla Vibes by Juliette Has a Gun. When I first got this, I remember thinking, what a gorgeous looking bottle. It's got this ombre effect to it. You know, reminds me exactly of the beach. This is supposed to be a beach scent. It's supposed to smell like you would smell on the beach, or what you would smell on the beach. Now the scent, this opens up with salt. So it's got a salty opening. In the middle of it, it's got vanilla and orchid, and in the base it's got tonka bean, sandalwood, musk, and benzoin. It's a very interesting opening, very beautiful atomizer as well. When I first smelled this, I remember thinking I didn't know what salt smelled like on its own in a fragrance, but this does smell salty. When it starts to dry down, you get vanilla and a little bit of floral in there. That would be the orchid, but I think I prefer this scent better in the dry down. This is a beautiful scent. It smells exactly like what the beach smells like. It doesn't smell like what you would smell at the beach. It smells like what the beach smells like. So when you're at the beach standing by the sea, there's a certain smell, you know, that just engulfs the area where the sea is at. That is what this perfume smells like. The opening is beautiful. The absolutely dry down is even more beautiful. The heart of this fragrance, however, smells like, you know, when you're standing at the beach by the sea, there is this smell, okay, that engulfs the area where the sea is at. This smells exactly like that. This smells exactly like that, and it's not particularly pleasant. It makes me want to throw up. I know, it makes me want to throw up. The heart of this fragrance makes me want to throw up. Okay, that's what I can say. It's nostalgic to me in a not so pleasant way. So I've been contemplating, honestly, if I should get rid of this bottle or keep it and probably layer it with another fragrance that is going to make this a little bit more pleasant on my nose or to my nose. Is this a good blind buy? Personally, I'm gonna say no. I think if you get the chance or the opportunity to get your nose on this before you make a purchase decision, please take it, because you may get a full bottle and not like it. I do have my eye on the pear perfume from the Juliette has a young house, but for this I'm not too sure. The next purchase is from the Kayali house, and it's a very popular one, and I'm actually a little bit late to this party, but I'm glad I have it now. This is Kayali Vanilla 28. This is a very popular fragrance. A lot of people have this for layering. A lot of people wear this on its own, and I bought into the hype and decided to get me a 100 ml, a full size bottle, to test this out for myself. It opens up with jasmine and vanilla, and in the mid it's got tonka bean and brown sugar. In the base it's got amber musk, amberwood, and patchouli. When I first got this and I sprayed it, I remember thinking, this smells like nothing. In the air, yes, it smells beautiful, but on my skin it smells like nothing. It's like a clean, sugary vanilla scent on my skin. It doesn't give me what it's supposed to give. So is this a safe blind buy? Absolutely it is. There's nothing unpleasant about this perfume, okay? If anything, I think it is a bit too safe. It's nice, and that's all there is to it. There's not much depth to it. There is not, it's just a nice perfume, you know? It's soft, it's mild, it's sweet, it's nice. The next fragrance I have here is called Delox by Tinciana Torrency. This is beautiful. This is such a beauty. It is a must have for me. When I first sprayed this, oh, that atomizer. If you like Roses Vanille by Mancera, you would love this, because this is Roses Vanille but better. This is a more refined Roses Vanille. This is what you wish Roses Vanille was. Okay, so this is a safe blind buy, a successful blind buy for me, and I will definitely be repurchasing this. This would be a staple in my collection. The next fragrance I've got here is by Tom Ford, and this is Black Orchid. This is a complex fragrance. I can't even begin to list what is in here. It's got notes like gardenia, blackcurrant, ylang ylang, bergamot, mandarin orange, lemon, orchid, spices, fruits. Oh, the dry down of this is absolutely delicious. Okay, in the opening this can be a little bit off-putting if you're like me and like your fresh and light and airy and, you know, floral scents. This is different, but it's good different. Okay, in the opening it smells a little bit medicinal, a little bit dark, but at the same time it is fresh and it is floral. But when it starts to dry down, okay, that is when the body of this actually comes alive. It starts to smell like fruits. It starts to smell like spices. It starts to smell like chocolate. This is a phenomenal scent. Is this a safe blind buy? No, it's not. It's not a safe blind buy because there's too much going on in here to gamble. I think it is one that has potential to grow on you. It's one that has potential to be loved, but you may not feel like that in the beginning. It's definitely worth a purchase, but I don't think I'm going to consider this a safe blind buy. The next fragrance I've got here is Monarch by Vanessa. This is very different from anything else that I have in my collection. What really attracted me to this perfume was the fact that it was 100% natural. So that means it is made out of natural oils, no artificials in here. It opens up with lavender, and in the middle it's got ylang ylang, it's got rose absolute, and geranium leaf. In the base it's got patchouli. The atomizer is actually quite beautiful. It sprays very nice and even. However, the scent is one that is going to take some getting used to for me. The notes in here seem pretty straightforward, but something in here is just not giving what it's supposed to give. The scent is not a bad scent. I just think it's one that will probably be better suited for somebody that is a little more matured. Something about it just puts me off. It's not a love. It's not even a like, unfortunately. To be fair, this is my first natural perfume, so I don't know if, you know, it's just something about natural perfumes or something about this perfume. Although it's not a expensive house, it's actually very affordable, but it's not a safe blind buy, not in my opinion. The next fragrance I've got here is Erba Pura by Zeja. This is described as an amber fragrance, but I get fruits, nothing but fruits. This gives me the vibe of sitting at a resort, you know, in this lovely swimsuit with this wide beach hat, sipping on a cocktail. This is a fruit cocktail in a bottle. It has notes like orange, bergamot, Sicilian lemon, fruits, white musk, vanilla, and amber. Okay, the fruit in the middle, you can't tell me this doesn't have passion fruit. You can't tell me this doesn't have pineapple. And it actually smells quite similar to Al Haramain Amber Oud by the Al Haramain house. This smells exactly like it, except this has more depth, and this is definitely more refined, and this lasts a lot longer. I had this on, took a shower, came out of the shower, and I still could smell Erba Pura on my skin. This is exactly what people say it is, okay? Believe the hype, because it's real and it's true. The last but absolutely not the least fragrance I've got here is called Tihota by Indult Paris. This has notes of vanilla and musk, and that's how you know that this is a true vanilla. This smells like freshly baked vanilla cookie. The quality of this perfume is unmatched, okay? The consistency is thicker than your average perfume. This should be like an extrait day perfume or like a parfum, if you ask me. This is an absolute staple in my collection. I love it so much. Is this a safe blind buy? Absolutely. Like, why don't you have this? If you're eyeing this, if you're thinking about getting this, contemplating it to get it, just get it. Just get it. It's beautiful. There's no way anyone is not gonna like this. This brings me to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking with me to the end of it. I personally had so much fun sharing my new blind buys with you guys. Comment what you like about this video, and if you have any of these fragrances, if you agree with my take on them, and of course subscribe for more content like this.